Pastel Beginner Lesson using soft pastels and pastel pencils. My wife wanted to draw this scene. This is her finished drawing. She did remarkably well. It's her first ever pastel. Hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so as you can see, Catherine's done these trees. In gouache, you need to let that dry now. I'm not a fan of putting hair dryers on or anything with the pastels. So we're going to just move down now and do the wave. She's got a selection of 3 pencils. So we've got a light middle and a dark. Yeah, matches the bracelet as well. So we're just going to put in the darks first, then put in the middles, and then the highlights, which will mainly be white. That'll go on top, and we'll try and go in the directions of the fur as well, so for the waves. So if you want to start on that, and we put that down because I don't want that glassine paper moving now. That's it.
Just knowing where all the bits and pieces are.
It doesn't matter. What I do is always squint, look at it, and then never be pushing with a pencil, ever. Be dragging it forward like this. Just going in the wave direction all the time. Okay, you don't have to be really accurate with it because we're going to drag the other colour over the top.
Right, okay.
Right, and so you just go in wave direction, turn the pencil a bit, because what we're going to have to do there then is blend it in. Okay, like that. And then we can go over it with, say, the lighter one comes on top. Just after the impression of it, we're not after getting it to be exact that we see in. And then eventually you'll drag the white, which I'll have, say, the wave top like that. Okay, you drag that on top.
Thank you.
So dark first, you don't need that pencil. We can come in with some extra darks if we need to later on. But that's what I mean about don't get wrapped up with detail at the beginning. You've got to get the pastel actually on the details will come on top of it. You see where you're leaving a gap for the light? Don't do it.
Right.
Just put it over all of it.
Right.
Yes. Because otherwise you're just filling it in like paint by numbers.
Right.
So you're going like that, blend it. If you want to blend it more, remember you can use one of these.
Yeah.
Wave direction again. Like that, and then it can build up some more on top if you want it to go even smoother, because you'll then bring the light on top of it.
Right.
If you was doing coloured pencil, you'd be doing it different, but the advantage with pastels is we can put the light on top of the dark. So when you squint at this, all you're really seeing is the darks and mid-tones then, and then when you open your eyes fully, you can see the highlights that go on top, and we can do that with pastels. So it's a lot quicker the way we can do it. If you want to rub it in, you can rub it in with that stump. And then next time, if you want to blend it again on top of that, use your finger. Otherwise you're just removing too much pastel.
Right, okay.
I'll sharpen up a blue that's a little bit darker, just so we've got some shadows there as well. That's it. So when you're looking at, when you've got more experience and you're looking at the photos, you'll see the wave is actually coming around. Where you were going like this and flicking out,
It's coming around.
It's coming around, and you're looking at the shape, it's always coming around because it's falling over the top. But we'll, you know, the detail of that will be in the highlights. And then if you didn't have the long nails, you could blend it in the direction again that you've just applied it. So I'd put some blue up there as well, because this is all a bit weird, but it's actually the wave crashing over again. So I'd go that's it, that same direction. At the end, we don't want any paper showing. That's it, the pencil always is coming towards you when you're making the mark, never pushing away.
Is that enough, or should I put more down?
Put a bit more in. That's it. We'll put the light on top then. That's it. Okay, so you can see some areas need to be darker. Okay, so you can cut into them with this dark now and just put a few bits in there. Okay, so that's the shadowy areas then of the wave, and then here you can see it's coming out and around. And then we can blend it back up in, just to soften it down. That's giving it that more three-dimensional appearance. So keep looking at your reference.
There's a lot over this way.
Yeah. Make sure you've got your mid-tone down there as well. You see in the water?
Yeah.
Where the water's edge comes up. It's quite that dark that you've got there. That needs to be there first before we can put the highlight on top.
So bring this all the way up.
Yeah. That's it. It doesn't need to go to the edge of the page because it'll be cut off.
Bring it all the way up here.
Yeah. So you can see it, yours is a bit light now, so we can go in a bit darker.
Yeah, in some areas.
That is. What's this one? Even if it's more of a grey, I don't mind. Just so it almost blends away into that other one. That's it. If we bring some of that blue up in, so you can kind of move your pastel around a bit, that's roughly the right colour. We'll get some darks in there eventually.
So we got like dark blues by here as well, or is this too light a colour?
Okay, where are you seeing those blues?
There.
So they're almost black.
Yeah, so we go over them in darker colours.
Yeah, there's that purple, that was quite dark, I think. See what that's like. You want it to almost blend into those areas. That's it.
And we're going to put...
See this colour here, the middle? That needs to go on there everywhere except the really whitest edge.
That was that one.
Yeah.
So up here as well.
Yeah. We need to have pastel there before we can put the highlights on top. That's it, up in there. That's it, and blend that in then. Okay, so if you see
a few darker areas,
the darks now, so those need to be dragged over. Try to hold the pencil more at the angle like that.
Oh.
So you just drag in, you keep doing this.
I know.
And you just ways it out. You've got a flat edge all the time on the pencil then.
Right.
It needs to be at the angle. You just get in the angle like that, and then just, rather than go up and down, just pull,
right.
Blend it in the direction. Otherwise these highlights won't show up at all.
Try to do a few bits here.
Yeah.
Even though these are a lot darker.
Yeah,
There's
carry on.
A couple in there.
Think of the pencil like you would a brush. You do exactly the same with the pencil as you would a brush, the same type of motion with it. Drag a few more over here as well. I don't mind if it's darker than it looks on the photo, you just need some direction for the waves. Okay, that's pretty good. What I'd say now is you make those darker. Angle the pencil. And they're coming over the top as well, so not all the way into the white. So at the top you can go very, very light like this. You can make different marks with one pencil. You can go so light that it barely shows up. And then as it's coming down, put more pressure into it. Okay, I'd leave that now, or you're not going to get any highlights on top. So I'll sharpen this lighter pencil a bit more. It's gone, the end's gone flat. So what you want to do now, if you start, you can look at the highlight now and bring it over. Okay, so this is not the brightest highlight yet.
Do we use this thingy?
No, don't worry about that. You don't blend any more on top with this.
Okay.
So I just start dragging that over, and then we'll use the white then on top. Just watch, you're not using dirty finger now as you're going on top, because it'll deaden the white immediately.
Okay. What about this edge here?
Don't worry about that, I'll do the rest of the wave.
Okay.
So watch how far it's coming down, so don't come down into the shadow.
No.
And keep looking at the reference, because that's where the answers are.
Because it's quite white in these thick areas.
Yeah. We can go over it with even whiter pencil after, so just use that. And unless you want it to be softer, don't touch it on the upper layers, because you want more defined edges.
Okay. What about the underneath bits? Just leave them for now.
Carry on doing the area you're doing. You don't want to be jumping around from one part to another with the same pencil, because the underlayers, the underneath is not white.
It just seems to be so much white there.
Yeah. Now if that's not white on the drawing, don't put white there.
Yeah, but it is, there's lots of white, isn't there?
It's not white, it's light blue.
Oh,
the white
right.
is there, only on the back and top edge.
Okay.
When you're doing it that way, I don't know why you do things backwards that way. It's this way.
Okay.
Otherwise you're pushing this up into that all the time.
Right.
But that's enough. You can see it's starting to look dirty,
Yeah.
the white. Just bring it forward slightly and soften that edge. You don't want to keep going in and in all the time.
Yeah.
This needs to be the light blue,
Right,
not white.
okay.
So just single strokes. You don't need to be going back and forth all the time. You're not scrubbing it.
Right.
Single strokes, and allow the underlayer then to show through in places where it needs to be.
Right.
And then by here, it's all the way over. But we got a whiter pencil again, like a Caran d'Ache white, that we can use. That'll be that little bit whiter on top. But we'll do that at the end.
Okay, I'm getting ready.
Because if you cover all of the underlayer dark up, you'll just have the same colour every single area on it, and it'll look flat. Okay, I'd leave that at that. Okay. And then that pencil now, I'll sharpen up again. And just do this bottom edge with it. So now just your wavy edge around there, like that, and leave that a bit of the dark on top.
Right.
Make sure you look across to the reference every now and again.
Yeah.
Because you need to know actually the shape that you're doing.
This one comes along like that.
Yeah. So you're trying to make the pencil movement duplicate what you're seeing, actual angles and shapes. That's it. So when you come up here, don't lose that dark edge, the dark bit that's in there.
Right. So I can go into there like that,
Yeah,
can't I?
just don't lose all of it. That's it, don't fuss anymore with it. Now that middle tone colour, that colour you got there, I'd use that there as well.
Across here?
Yeah.
All across that?
You have to subdue it a bit. What are you seeing in the photo?
I see white.
It'll stand out and look lighter when we get those dark strips coming across,
Okay.
you know, later on. So when you're trying to do something that's lightish, don't play around in dark areas. Do the lightish part first. Otherwise you're just dirtying your pencil up here, and then when you come down into the light areas you put the dirty colour into it.
Right, okay.
So do your lights first and then go into the dirty section. I think that's big enough. I wouldn't keep going into that all the time because it'll just get bigger, bigger, bigger and wider. When you look at the size of it there compared to what we've got
how do
already.
I join this bit up?
That's it. I'll just put a bit more of a shadowy colour in there.
Because it's quite light.
And then put your light on top. Don't push so hard with the pencil. That's it. Leave that at that. Right. So what we'll do now is move the board again and get up onto the trees and put some colours into the tree. Really hope you've enjoyed this short section from my Patreon art video. It's on tier 2 and you'll see Catherine finish the whole drawing. It's her first ever pastel drawing. She did really remarkably well. And if you join up to Patreon, you get access to literally hundreds and hundreds of hours of other videos, so you can avoid frustration and trial and error and really start enjoying your artwork. And there's around about 1600 members there, and you're never too old to learn. I've got members from 18 years of age to 88 years. See you there real soon.